Thank you for having us. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be the first to talk to you after your press conference. Some people interpreted your press conference as sending messages to the new president-elect, to the new administration in the United States. Do you think this would change? This would flip eventually?
No, what I meant is I know the position about Hezbollah is a bipartisan, policy. What I meant is the sanctions. Is it a really useful tool to get to the objective of the United States? This has always been a debate, whether sanctions or openness and dialogue. I believe dialogue would take into our case. Will this take them to their objective? I think not. It is something that will strengthen Hezbollah, not weaken Hezbollah. And it's something when it is unjust that will also make people sympathize with us.
Then again, there's just the practical, logical question that comes out. What's the concern with Hezbollah? It's Israel. In your press conference, you said ideologically you're not really on the same page with Hezbollah. So it was paradoxical, kind of paradoxical. Are you with the peace with Israel?
No, we are for the protection of Lebanon first. Okay. Independence and sovereignty of Lebanon, and for the return of the Palestinian refugees too. So no, we have our problems with Israel. What I meant by ideological, it's the position of Hezbollah against versus the existence of Israel by itself, but where the Palestinians and all the Arabs are saying we accept the two states, then you accept the state of Israel and you accept the state of Palestine. And this is the essence of the Arab initiative which was taken in Beirut. So
you are aligned with that?
We are aligned with that. This is the official position of Lebanon, of course.
Something occurs to me. Would we live to a day, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, maybe 5 years, would I see you as a Lebanese shaking hands with an Israeli prime minister? Would that happen?
Our position is not to have peace unless we have our rights.
But it may happen.
If we have our rights, and the position of Lebanon has always been that it's not only the rights of Lebanon, it's for the Arab countries. So we are in a position where we have to have a comprehensive solution. The problem with Israel is Israel does not want peace, not us. We believe in peace. We don't want war to last forever. The problem is Israel is using the concept of force instead of the concept of rights. And what is our position is you base peace on mutual rights. Everybody has a right to preserve.
Still, if all that is sorted out, we might see you in the future doing that.
You might see me doing that when all the rights of the Arabs are really, the concept of the mutual rights is applied.
I would like to ask, what's the link between the normalization, the Abraham Accords, the Arab normalization with Israel, and our maritime border talks, and the future of the relationship with Israel?
I don't see a direct link. No. I think this is...
Nothing will change for Lebanon-Israeli relationships with all the Arabs now normalizing?
No, this is one issue. Like we solved some, complicated issues on the land. This is one issue that if we solve, it can help us to stabilize the region and, the issue of shower gas in Lebanon.
If you gave in with that, would have you been saved from the sanctions? Was this one of the things asked from you, the maritime borders?
No, what I did about the maritime borders came out of my conviction that this is an issue that we should solve, preserving the rights of Lebanon. If it is one problem less and a step ahead towards stability, fine, let it be. We have no problem to. We are not looking to increase the problems with Israel in the region. We want to decrease them and to solve them. So if Israel would tell you, we'll return to you the Shib'a farms, we say no? Of course not. We want the Shib'a farms, the return of the Palestinians, the issue of the borders. So any problem we can solve,